Yes, absolutely. In both sides of the Atlantic, North America and Europe. Europe is the leading region fighting against climate change. Before signing the Paris agreements and the commitments for climate change, it also had an energy roadmap till 2050 with a main goal to reduce carbon emissions by more than 80%. But it had binding midterm objectives, 2020 and 2030, for reducing carbon emissions, for energy efficiency, consuming less by the same with the same quantity of GDP, and a relevant quota of renewables in the energy mix. That itself is an energy revolution which affects the way we are consuming energy and the way we are producing energy. In the other side of the Atlantic, the United States, the energy revolution is more related to technology advances. Some are batteries for households, photovoltaic for households and buildings, also storage and batteries for electric vehicles, but those at this moment are not massive. So they are in an early stage of development. The real advance has to do with the oil economy of the fossil fuel energy. It is related with the shale and oil gas revolution that's putting into production an amount of energy that previously could not be produced. And that has really been happening in the last decade, and it's a really revolution in terms of putting more oil and gas in production. Now the United States is heading to be independent, let's say independent from the outside in terms of energy. He has reduced his imports, he's starting to export more and more, and that has a really impact in the whole energy market. So the two things, one in Europe, which is the leading for climate change, there's certainly a revolution, and the other thing is the shale gas and oil revolution from the United States. Energy flows are driven by a simple fact that centers of demand are far from the centers from the energy resources. So the Middle East has played a key role in order to supply, to produce energy and to transport it to the Atlantic Basin and to the Pacific Basin. As said before, Europe will be more self-sufficient in energy, it will demand less energy, and it will have more renewable energy that is produced and consumed locally. On the other side of the Atlantic, the US, we've seen the shale oil gas revolution that is putting more production into the market. It has doubled its oil production, has reduced imports, and has doubled its exports. So energy, oil that was going to the US is now being displaced and is going elsewhere. And that is something that is happening right now, and an effect of all that is, for example, the collapse of oil prices. So yes, for sure, the Atlantic Basin, it's recasting energy flows. In Latin America, we have Mexico, we have Peru, we have Venezuela, Trinidad. All these countries are producers of energy. Then in Africa, we have Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, South Africa. They are oil, gas, and coal producers. So they belong to the energy space. But in the case of Africa, 600 million people don't have access to energy. So they're not demanding energy. They produce energy, but they're not demanding it. That's about 50% of the population. Energy, at some extent, is more important than health or education. Without electricity, you cannot run a hospital, or you cannot read at night. So it's capital to those regions to have access to electricity. And this way, at the end, they will be part of the energy space of the Atlantic. That's the big challenge for the next years.